Hello my friend, are you ready for NFL Picks Round 16 with my special guest and the best picks? Before we start, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to this channel that you don't miss any of my picks. Thanks for your support, buddy. Hello Phil Vegas, my brother. Nice to have you here again.
Thank you very much, Radek. Glad to be back here.
And now we first have a look at our picks of last week, and we see we started good with the Raiders win versus the Chargers, but then there were some close games altogether. We had 8 wins and 8 losses in predictions, and in bets we won 2 and we lost 3. And we start with the games between the Rams and the Saints. Both have a record of 7-7, but as we can see, the Rams have a better form with 4 wins in the recent 5 games. What do you expect, Phil?
Yeah, that is true. They won 4 of their last 5, but also the Saints are a bit of an upswing and lost the last 2 games, as you can see here. Yeah, it's going to be a tough battle. Both teams are 7-7 in the records. Both teams are still in the playoff hunt. The Saints can clinch their division title. It's very close in their division. With the Falcons and the Buccaneers, and the Rams can claim a wild card because they are in the division with the 49ers and they are 4 wins ahead, so they won't catch them. So crucial game for both of them to reach the playoffs, but the Rams are at home. The Rams are, like, overall in the season the better team, the more stable team. Saints, and especially the quarterback Derek Carr, they're a bit hot and cold, and also Derek Carr has some not so strong matches also, and he's also struggling with injuries here and there. I think he's still playing with a broken rib. So overall, I think it's going to be a close match, but with the Rams ahead, and the Rams are predicted to win here tonight at SoFi Stadium.
No, you have to bet 200 to win 100. 83% of the people say the Rams will do it. Go on with the next game between the Steelers and the Bengals.
Predicted both teams right, and Jake Browning still delivering, the backup quarterback for the Bengals, with a close win against the Vikings. The Steelers lost, as I predicted, and they are still, and they showed this again, they still struggled with their offense. They made 13 points only, and one was a big play from the defense, blocked punt. So yeah, they still, after firing the offensive coordinator Matt Canada, they're still struggling so hard with their offense, and I think it's gonna continue against the Bengals. They have a solid defense, and they also have still Jake Browning in the offense, who is obviously on fire. Also, the receivers of the Bengals are on fire. The running plays are intact. So I see the Bengals win here against the Steelers, and this will probably be the first losing record of the Steelers under their head coach. So it's probably going to be history for the Steelers this season, and they're probably going to miss the playoffs. Yeah, so Bengals win here.
They're not that huge favorite. You have to bet 130 to win 100, and 77% are here for the Bengals. And it looks for me that the Bills should also win this game very clearly.
I'm also seeing a Bills win here. The Chargers, the season is more or less over. They only have a slight chance to make the playoffs, but they are basically eliminated from the playoffs. Their quarterback Justin Herbert is out for the season, so they're playing with the backup Easton Stick. Performance last week, they lost against the Raiders with 63 points. They allowed 63 points. Amazing loss, so to say. And the Bills had a great performance against the Cowboys. They are now starting to have a run towards the playoffs, and the Bills are going to win here, even though it is an away game for them at the Chargers, but the Chargers fan base is not that strong that this is going to be a factor. So I see a solid Bills win here against the struggling Chargers, and the season for them is more or less over.
Yeah. Also 88% for a Bills win. Do you want to bet $800 to win 100?
I would probably not, but still, I am 100% sure that the Bills are going to win here.
So let's see if between the Falcons and the Colts we find better odds.
The Falcons last week, they had a horrible match in Carolina against the 1-12 Panthers. Hardly any attendance in the stadium. There was heavy rain and horrible match for football fans. It was a 9-7 win for the Panthers in the end. So Falcons were leading their division. They had like the worst team of the NFL ahead of them. Like it would have been an easy win for them to make some progress towards the division win, and they lost. So yeah, really bad news for them. And I think so their mind is probably now in a rather bad condition. And the Colts, with their backup quarterback Gardner Minshew, they are in a very good condition. So they are winning a lot of games recently. And also this match, it is in Atlanta, but still I see the Colts win here in Atlanta and worsening the season of the Falcons, or the actual shape of the Falcons.
The odds are really great, so we have equal payment and we bet 100, we win 100. So far the best bet I can see. With the Panthers, you mentioned against the Packers, should be also more clear.
Yeah, I assume so as well. So the Panthers, they won surprisingly last week in that rain match against the very weak Falcons, but I think this was a one-off. And also the Packers lost though, so I saw them actually, very on a very good progress towards the playoffs, and they had a loss last week at home against the Buccaneers. But the Buccaneers had a especially great quarterback that night. So still, I see the Packers win here again against the Panthers, because the Panthers are really the worst team this season, and their win last week was a rather one-off thing. So Packers win here.
Yeah, but maybe they can surprise again. But in this case, we get also attractive odds. We have to bet 227 to win 100. Not that high risk as in the other game, but still a pretty clear thing, as you also can see. 88% predict win of the Packers in this game. You told me that the Browns had also a really interesting game against the Bears last week. Can they also make an impact against the Texans, who also won their game?
They were behind more or less the whole game against the Bears until the very end, where they then made a lead. But then also the Bears stroked back with a Hail Mary towards the end zone, and they were like really close to catch it and win the game. But they were not able to fulfill it, and so the Browns had a lucky win against the Bears. And so I see the Browns, like they're still playing with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, I think, had 3 interceptions, so he had a very poor start into the game, and he was recovering. And closely they were able to win this game, but they were the worst, or like they were the worst team in that matchup against the not so competing Bears. So, and the Texans, they had some strong performances. So they were playing without CJ Stroud last week. I think it's still not clear if CJ Stroud will play this Sunday. In case he is able to play again, CJ Stroud, I see a Texans win here. It's going to be a close decision. You probably have to check on game day if CJ Stroud will play against the Browns. If it is the case, I do see a Texans win at home. Still, even without CJ Stroud, they were quite competitive and were able to win last week against the Titans in overtime. So I would predict a Texans win here, because the offense of the Browns is struggling. They have to have a great defense match, and in case CJ Stroud is playing, Texans gonna win. Even if he's not playing, Texans still gonna win, but it's gonna be rather a conflict then.
Yeah, a lot of good points for a Texans win, and also the odds are in our favor, because we get $125 for only betting 100 on the Texans as an underdog in a game where it's basically a coin flip, and then we should win this. The Vikings versus the Lions. The Lions won against the Broncos, and the Vikings lost in overtime.
The Vikings are still struggling to find the right quarterback. They have played with 4 or 5 quarterbacks this season. And even though the Vikings are at home, I do see a whole big advantage for the Lions. And I think the Lions will win here and will more or less eliminate the Vikings from the playoffs on Sunday.
Also interesting odds with 169 to bet to win 100. Yeah, not the best, but still for the strength of both teams, maybe worth a shot. The Jets versus the Commanders, they are really both not in great shape at the moment. As you can see, most of the games were lost. Is there any favorite do you care about this game?
Two bad teams facing each other on Christmas Eve. Jets are playing at home. I see a slight advantage for the Jets, and I see the Jets win this probably low-scoring game against the Commanders.
And we have to bet 164 to win 100. I think for teams like that, I even won't bet $50 to win 100. The Titans hosting the Seahawks, and while the Titans lost their last game versus the Texans, the Seahawks were able to win, and now they are favorite with $149 to bet to win 100.
Yeah, I also see the Seahawks ahead here. They had an amazing win last week against the Eagles. That was a surprise. They even played with the backup quarterback Drew Luck while Gino was injured. I'm not sure if Gino will return this Sunday, but yeah, Drew Luck also had a great match while the Titans were not able to win against the Texans. So I do see the Seahawks winning here against the Titans, and because they are still also in the playoff hunt, they are 7-7, tied with the Rams and the Vikings for the wild card in the NFC. And it's going to be a crucial game for them, but I think they're going to survive the pressure and beat the Titans.
Not that bad to bet 149 to win 100 here for the Seahawks, as we might see a bit of better class of the Seahawks after their last win. The Buccaneers versus the Jaguars. While the Buccaneers were able to win, it was the third loss in a row for the Jaguars, but still they are favorite in this game. Do you also see that like this?
Yeah, this is going to be a close one for the Jaguars. As you said, they lost the last three matches, and they are really on a downswing. They were quite ahead in their division, and they are now, I think, tied with the Texans and the Colts. So they are on the verge of losing their division lead. And this probably can happen on Sunday. I think Trevor Lawrence is out with a concussion. So this will even, hurt the Jaguars even more. The Buccaneers had an historic match last week in Green Bay. Great performance of Baker Mayfield, of their quarterback. The Buccaneers are a bit hot and cold this season, so often they had great matches, and then a week after they had a very poor performance. So this might happen again here, but still, I think this will, the win last week in Green Bay will give them some credibility and some strength. And the Jaguars, with their struggling offense, with their probably loss of their starting quarterback, I think Buccaneers are able to win it, and I would bet on the Buccaneers here.
Also special case, first time the Mars is betting against us, which is a good thing, because the Mars and the majority of the people is always wrong. If they would be right, there wouldn't be any bookmaker. Bears versus Cardinals, both teams lost their last game, and the Bears are the favorite here, as they might be the home team. Is there such a great home advantage for the Bears here?
They're playing at home at Soldier Field. It is an historic stadium, and they do have a solid fan base, so this might give them an advantage. Cardinals, again, coming from warm Arizona to probably cold Chicago. We talked about that last week as well. But more or less, I see the Bears and their lucky win last week giving them some strength and some momentum for this week's match against the Cardinals. Cardinals had a good performance against the 49ers, giving them 29 points with one of the best defenses. So good performance, still lost against the 49ers, no surprise. And I see the Bears here in advantage, and I see the Bears winning at home against the Cardinals.
All right, a clear thing if you ask 256 people, and you 82% say that the Bears might win. You have to bet 200 to win 100 here. Not that brilliant ratio. Maybe we get more interesting odds on two really great teams with the Dolphins and the Cowboys. Almost balanced odds here in this attractive game. Both have a record 10-4, 10 winnings and 4 losses. But the Cowboys lost their last game, and they have to play at Miami.
Yeah, this is one of the matches I'm most looking forward to this Christmas. Cowboys against the Dolphins. The Cowboys were really, really hot until their loss last week against the Bills. This came as a surprise. And as you can see here, the Dolphins also have 4 out of 5 in the last 5 weeks. But still, I see a bounce back of the Cowboys this week. I see the Cowboys now want to strike back against the Dolphins. They are playing away in Miami, but still, I think they can win in Miami. I see them as a stronger team. The Dolphins are a bit, I wouldn't say fake, but Dolphins are struggling against teams with positive records. So all of the wins are against losing record teams. So here they are facing a really strong performer with the Cowboys. And Tyreek Hill was out last week. I'm not sure about his status. So in case Tyreek Hill won't play, I see an even bigger advantage for the Cowboys. But still, if Tyreek Hill is able to play, I would predict a Cowboys win here.
Yeah, and also interesting odds. We get 100 bucks if we bet 105. So fair situation. Denver Broncos versus New England Patriots, and last week we tried a bet on the underdog of the Broncos. Now they are a huge favorite versus the Patriots, and they should win this game at home, shouldn't they?
Yeah, we can make this short. Horrible season for the Patriots. Probably Bill Belichick era is over. And Broncos will bounce back after the loss last week. They are still in the playoff hunt and need this win, and they will get this win against the Patriots. So Broncos will win here.
Okay, and bet 300 to win 100, maybe to consider it in an ACCA to bet on it and combined with other sure winners. Kansas City Chiefs versus Las Vegas Raiders. Also pretty sure thing, or do you think our Vegas team has any chance to surprise here?
No, I don't see any chances. They made 63 points against the Chargers last week, the Raiders, so this was a great match for them. But the Chiefs are the way better team. They're playing at home at Arrowhead Stadium, so we can make this short. I see a Chiefs win here against the Raiders. And Chiefs are going back in the right direction, and they are going to be back on track.
And also at home, it's a must win for them. Eagles versus Giants should be a clear thing for the Eagles. Do you see any chance for the Giants here?
No, I don't. Even though the Eagles lost their 3 last matches, this will be their first win again. They're going to be back on track against the New York Giants. They are struggling with Tommy DeVito and their offense. And Eagles will play at home. Giants, not a good season at all. And a safe Eagles win here.
And the last game is the best game, Monday night game between the 49ers and the Ravens. And surprisingly, we have a pretty clear favorite with the 49ers. Why is that?
Probably because of their performances the last weeks, their home field advantage, and they are just functioning at the moment. After their downswing mid-season with 3 losses, they are now back on track. Won all of their 5 last matches. They are the team to beat at the moment. Still, Ravens are also a very competitive team at the moment, and we probably see some of the MVP frontrunners this year with Lamar Jackson, with Brock Purdy, and the running back of the 49ers, Christian McCaffrey. So they are all 3 in the hunt for the MVP title. So this is going to be, offensively a great match. But still, I see the 49ers ahead here. Ravens are also struggling here and there, and the 49ers are they are functioning very smoothly at the moment. and I see a win for the 49ers in the Monday night game.
That's it. We are through and we have a look at the summary of all games and maybe the best bets of this round 16. And here are our result picks and the 7 games we think that it might be worth a bet on it, like Rams win versus the Saints, the Packers versus the Panthers, the Lions versus the Vikings, the Seahawks versus the Titans, the Cowboys at the Dolphins, because a lot of away winners, and then we have a home winner between the Buccaneers and the Jaguars. So that's it for this round. So thanks for watching. Thanks Phil for your expertise and being here.
Good thing.
Have a good one and have a beautiful Christmas all outside.
Happy Christmas, everyone.
Goodbye. Before we start, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to this channel that you don't miss any of my picks. Thanks for your support, buddy.